fit. What do I do?
Simple. Just hand it over to a pro.
Hmm?
La, 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 la. Et voila.
You know, I think sometimes there's an answer like that to most of the world's problems.
But?
But, for example, how do you end a war? Simple. Stop shooting.
You're right. Simple's too complicated.
Haven't you ever heard of knocking?
Isn't that something you do in a gin game?
Come in, Mildred.
Oh, thank you so much. These are the last of the drip dries. They're still wet.
Oh, that's all right, Mildred. The commissioner's got plenty to wear for a weekend in Los Angeles. But I think I'll just hang them up and watch them dry. It'll give me something to do while you two are off enjoying Southern California.
What's to enjoy about a police convention?
Only 3,000 good-looking cops.
And
that's all.
copesses.
How much enjoying can you do for 2 whole days?
Lots.
The warden here keeping an eye on you.
Listen, are you sure you don't want me to stay with you?
Mildred, that's okay. You've been looking forward to this train trip for weeks.
Well, what's the difference? So I don't see the family for another 5 years.
Are you trying to make me feel guilty?
Look, I don't have to go. I can...
Will you two stop it? I'm a big girl.
You can say that again.
May I say something amusing?
Well, I wish you'd try.
We have 12 minutes to get to the depot.
Ah.
See you in 2 days. Take care of Bonzo.
I will.
Bonzo?
Well, it was Heathcliff last night. We're improving.
Ah, well, let it be on your head, my dear. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I still don't like it, Commissioner. I think we're asking for trouble. I mean, inviting Tommy Brown to speak at the convention is one thing, but to have him travel there with half the police force, that's something else.
I think he's right.
Well, in the first place, I didn't invite him on board. Mr. Hildreth did. And it is his railroad.
And in the second place?
In the second place, he may have written a damning book about our department, but so far, nothing's been proven.
And in the third place?
And in the third place, Mildred, I wish you'd keep your nose out of police business in the first place.
Don't lose these envelopes. They've got your convention tickets in them. And pin on your name tag. How are we supposed to know who you are?
Ah, you're not. I'm undercover.
Of course, I
Pin
talked
it
to
on
him
your
in the
undershirt.
What, did you win?
Of course, I wouldn't be telling you about it.
Well, what did you win?
Half a dozen hot dogs, half a dozen hamburgers,
Yeah.
and a T-bone steak.
Yes, up there we have San Francisco's finest. Unfortunately, give a monkey a gun, he's still a monkey.
But give Tommy Brown a typewriter and watch him make an ass of himself.
Well, now, let's not knock success, my dear. This book happens to be a bestseller.
Are you saying that no one ever went broke underestimating the taste of the American public?
Well, America has the right to know the truth about its mercenaries.
Sergeant Bellins. Sergeant Masters. You share compartment 2 on your left.
Ah, look who we have here. Well, good evening, gentlemen. How's everything? Read any good books lately?
Nobody's written any lately.
Come on. See what I mean about making an ass of yourself?
Tommy Brown.
Hello, Lisa.
Hello, Commissioner. You're in compartment A on your right.
Thank you.
You're in compartment B.
Thank you.
McMillan. Thomas Brown.
How do you do?
Pleasure.
This is my assistant, Charles Enright.
Charles.
Pleased to meet you.
Thank you.
And,
I'm the commissioner's body slave.
Well, everybody should have one.
I'll get us settled in, Commissioner.
I would like you to meet Nicole. She's my, what exactly are you, my dear?
Aquarius. How do you do, Commissioner?
Nicole. A lovely name.
That's why I chose it.
Oh, I, brought you a copy of my book, Commissioner. I thought maybe you'd like to read it.
I'll see you in the car, sir.
Little thin skin, wouldn't you say?
A lot of us are. Your book is being widely circulated and quoted.
The character in my book, Joe Hammond, happens to be one of your own men. You know that? And what he told me was all straight stuff.
Yes, but there's no Joe Hammond in my department, so there's no way we can prove it, is there?
It's just a fictitious name.
Fictitious. That's what I think about your book.
I'd like to talk to you about it.
What do you want?
All aboard!
Méfiez-vous de lui quand il est tout auteur.
Merci, mademoiselle.
What'd she say?
Roughly translated, it means watch yourself in the clinches.
Oh. Oh.
This is really going to be fun.
I've been looking forward to this for so
me
long.
too.
I haven't been on a train since I was a kid.
Absolutely.
I love them.
Me too. These bunks are really tiny.
Oh, well, we'll get a good night's sleep.
Yeah. How long is this silly train gonna take?
12 hours.
May I have your... May I have your attention, please? Everybody sit down. Full house. Yeah. First, I'd like to welcome you aboard. You've all earned this trip by your dedication to duty during the past year. And I'm sure this convention in L.A. will prove enlightening as well as enjoyable. Now I'd like to introduce our host, who is gracious enough to offer us this special train, Mr. Aaron Hildreth.
Thanks, man. I'm aware that each one of you has been handpicked for this convention because of your special expertise in the various aspects of law enforcement. And I feel proud to be able to help make this a memorable occasion. Just have a good time. And leave the train in one piece.
We have another gentleman aboard who I would like to introduce. He's the author of a book. I'm sure you've all heard about it. Perhaps some of you have read it. Mr. Tommy Brown. Mr. Brown has been invited to the convention to talk about this book. Maybe answer some questions.
Glad to meet you, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll be glad to answer any questions that you might care to ask. That is, if you'll all be glad to answer mine. Thank you.
Never met a man I didn't like, till now.
The club car is open. Enjoy yourself.
Good idea.
Sounds good.
Enjoy No, but, I don't use
Do you
vermouth.
make a good one?
Absolutely.
Just don't bruise it.
What you have to do after you.
Hey, Commissioner. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, the man's a parasite, and he's just actually spitting in everybody's face.
We can take it.
Well, I'm not so sure. One day he's going to say something just a little bit too flippant, somebody's going to deck him.
No, he's a guest of Mr. Hildreth, just like we are. Now, you tell whoever that is that he's to be left alone. And I mean it.
What's the rush?
I'm sorry, Mildred. I had to get out of there. I was getting claustrophobia.
You were? I would have thought that place was too small for that.
I see know it's not Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. Nice to see you. Whoops, yeah, whatever you're Well, Commissioner, I must say, your men are very amusing. None of this cocktail party baloney, you know? If they don't like, they don't like. That's terrific. Something I read, I wrote. Can you blame them? After all, you practically accused every one of them of being grafters. What did you expect? Long-stemmed roses? Well, at the very least, I would give them to my little innocent there, yes.
Would you like a drink, Aaron?
No, thanks, man.
Nicole? What would you like?
I'll settle for a scotch.
You know, you're going to make me sorry I offered you this ride. Really? Well, then, why did you? Because I thought you might silence your guns a little when you'd met some of these people.
Well, it's never been my style.
You make it hard for people to like you, don't you?
I make it impossible. See, that way, anyone likes me. I know they want something. It works all the time.
Here you are, Nicole.
Thank you.
Mr. Commissioner. Hello, gentlemen. Nice to see you. Yeah, you got some nice men there, you know? With cops like those, we don't need crooks.
My apologies, Mac. I thought having him aboard might mend some fences. I was wrong.
I think we'll survive.
Mac?
A little touchy, isn't he?
What is it you're after, Mr. Brown? You've managed to alienate almost everyone on this train.
Almost everyone. Must be slipping. The time was I could alienate the whole 8th Army in just 10 minutes.
With air support.
Well, what's the hurry? We got a long trip ahead of us. By the way, I understand we're making an unscheduled stop.
Yes, we're picking up a police official in Madeira.
Huh? Who's that?
Les Walker from Stockton.
Les Walker. Never heard of him.
Don't let that upset you, dear. He never heard of you either. You're enjoying this, aren't you?
You're damn right I am. Let them all crawl for a few minutes.
I didn't notice that anyone was.
Well, that's because you're not tuned in. You see, I am. These are street people like me.
Is that why you turned against them? Because they're like you?
Oh, don't give me that Bryn Mawr psychoanalysis garbage. I don't like them because they're cops. Period. Zero.
Well, you're even up. They don't like you.
Nor anyone else. Cops only dig cops. Everyone else is just a civilian.
I love you, Tommy, but I feel sorry for you. It took you 38 years of your life to find out what you want. You want to be one of the boys, but the boys won't let you.
And what do you want?
When I find out, Tommy, I'll let you know.
And when you find out, it might be too late. By then, Tommy Brown may have moved on to virgin territory.
Can I give you a hand with those pressure?
Yeah, you run interference. You wouldn't believe that.
That's because you're too polite. Come on, follow me. Okay,
pregnant lady.
Move down here and see what it is.
Hey.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. All right. I want to tell you something. You really can't have a lot of pride in yourself riding on a train with a whole bunch of people that hate your guts. I mean, you really got to want to punish yourself. You know what I mean?
3-cent philosophy from a 2-cent cop. Where does it end?
When someone takes their fists and shove it right down your throat, that's when. Creep. Here.
That's enough.
Come on.
Hey, help me with this, will you?
Sure.
Oh, thanks. This train was a plane, I'd tell you where to get off.
All right, I was wrong, but he deserved it. And I tell you, Commissioner, one day somebody's gonna kill that punk.
Sam, cool it.
I'll cool it, but if it wasn't for the department, I'd let him have it for good.
What are you trying to do? Make every word in his book seem true?
Commissioner, come on, the guy deserves
Sam,
it.
you were wrong, no matter what the provocation. Being a cop's hard enough without Brown accusing us in print of brutality. Now, I want you to stay in here and cool off. Then I want you to go back in there and apologize.
You want me to go and do what?
Apologize. As in, I'm sorry.
Yes, come in. Well, Mr. Law and Order. Come on in, Commissioner. Nicole, give the man a drink.
No, thanks.
Okay, suit yourself. What can I do for you?
Can we talk privately?
Sure. Nicole, why don't you go take a cop away from his wife? You do things like that so well.
Well, at least one of us has some talent.
Well?
I want you to stay away from the rest of the people on board.
Why?
For your own good.
Meaning?
Meaning? I can't be everywhere at the same time. Something might happen.
Nothing's gonna happen. Not with you aboard, anyway. How would it look in the papers?
I don't care about the papers. Just be careful.
Say, would you like to know who Joe Hammond is, the famous made-up cop?
No.
No? You mean you have no interest at all?
You can't tell me what I already know.
Who is it? Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
matter?
He's dead.
Enright, come with me.
Everybody stay here.
Check the rest of the car.
Commissioner?
Fine.
There's nothing down there, sir.
Have this compartment sealed off.
Yes, sir.
He is dead.
Yes. Is it worth crying about?
If I don't cry for him, nobody will.
I understand. I'll be back. We have to talk.
I'll be here.
Come in.
Excuse me, Mr. Hildreth. I'm afraid something terrible has happened.
Constantly badgering people to just aggravate.
Tommy Brown was shot to death. One shot. Now, I want to know...
Were there any powder?
No.
Any smell of gunpowder?
No.
Then, Commissioner, that places the killer outside of the compartment.
Well, was the body facing the door or the other seat?
The seat. He probably turned around and looked when the killer opened the door. Now,
What happened?
Tommy Brown was shot to death. Now, I want to know exactly where everyone was within the last half hour. Where you were standing, or if you moved, or if you left this car, and why. We'll be stopping in Madera in a short while. I want you to check everybody's story now. Right away, sir. And then I want somebody to verify your story.
Mine,
and check everybody's guns. Yes, sir.
Commissioner, I think it's obvious that you suspect one of us is the killer.
Well, if there's nobody on the train but us, Miss Davis, I think that's a natural assumption. Where were you, Aaron?
I never left my stateroom.
Excuse me.
Right?
Hey, Commissioner. Yeah, I knew something like this was going to happen.
Where were you between the time I left you in my stateroom until just now?
Well, I went to apologize like you said, and I came back here to have myself a little drink.
Did you hear anything back there?
Just train noises. What was I supposed to? Hey, wait a minute. What are you getting at?
I'm not getting at anything. I'm just trying to piece this thing together in my mind.
Is there anything I can do, Mac? Do you want me to have the train stopped, have it rerouted back home?
How long would it take?
8, 10 hours. I'd have to juggle some trains around, get another engine here.
I think we better go on.
Anything you say. I didn't like the man, but I didn't want to see him dead either.
Someone did. Probably somebody in this car.
Sam, let me see your gun.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Oh, Commissioner, this is crazy.
So is murder.
Commissioner, let me come with you. I've had 12 years homicide.
No.
Come in.
Feel any better?
Yes.
Can you tell me what happened?
I opened the door and I found him. That's everything.
Nothing else?
No.
Did you go in? Did you touch him? Did you see anything?
No.
No to what?
No to all of the above.
Can you think of anybody who would really want to kill him?
Are you serious?
A lot of people make threats, but they rarely carry them out.
Like that policeman a few minutes ago. Are you trying to get him off the hook?
Nor am I trying to get him on it. If he did anything, I'll find out about it.
And then forget about it. That's what Tommy's book was all about.
You don't know me very well.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
I know you didn't. It's not your style.
You're very observant.
You're easy to observe.
So are you.
Oh, conductor. How fast is this train going?
60, 70 miles an hour, depends.
Any slowdowns, turns, anything like that?
If you're asking could anyone have jumped, the answer is no. It's suicide heaven out there.
How long before we get to Madeira?
Let's see. About 4.5, 5 minutes.
All right, I want your crew to meet in the dining car and wait there. We want to search this train from front to rear, okay?
It's okay with me. What do we do if we find someone?
What do we do if we don't?
Commissioner thinks we'll find out what.
I assume no one's left the car?
No one.
We'll be stopping for just a minute. We're picking up Les Walker and his assistant.
Commissioner, don't you want to post some kind of guard so the killer doesn't escape when the train stops?
Not necessarily. The last thing the killer would want is to identify himself by running.
Or herself?
You can be sure of one thing. Him or her. I'm gonna find you. I'm damn sure gonna find you. Sergeant Fisher?
Yes, hello.
Commissioner McMillan. Where's Les?
Right here, Mac. You met Sergeant Fisher?
Yes. Sergeant, would you take the bags to the compartment, please?
Yes, sir, thank you. I'll take yours now.
Les. Tommy Brown's been murdered.
Who?
Tommy Brown, the writer.
When?
About a half an hour ago, on this train.
But how?
One shot through the heart.
Who did it?
I don't know.
Well, you have a suspect, don't you?
A whole trainload of us. We've got his body sealed off in the compartment. Would you take a look?
Yes. Pardon me. What are they doing?
The guy standing up is checking the guns of the guy sitting down.
Why?
Because the guy outside asked the guy standing up to check the guns of the guy sitting down.
But why?
Well, the guy outside who asked the guy standing up to check the guns of the guy sitting down is looking for a guy with a gun with a bullet gone. Get it?
Got it.
Good. I'd like to ask you a question.
Sure.
Who are you?
You know your guy outside?
Yeah.
Well, I'm the new guy inside, sent by your guy outside to check the guy stand...
Forget it.
He was sitting by that window.
I'm stumped. Everyone aboard this train has an unshakable alibi. Everyone swears he was standing next to someone else who will verify it.
Well, someone's either lying or they're wrong.
There are 27 people aboard this train, 29 including you and Fisher. 5 of them are railroad men who never even heard of a Tommy Brown. The rest are police, with the exception of Hildreth, myself, my housekeeper, and Nicole.
Nicole? Who's Nicole?
Brown's traveling companion. So who's lying?
Mac, you plan to take this train back to San Francisco?
Oh, I thought about it, but it doesn't make any sense. By the time we get clearance back, we'll be in L.A.
Tell you what, you could stay here. I could have some of my men and equipment over here in 20 minutes.
What I don't want is a full-scale assault by the press right now. The killer is somewhere aboard this train. I don't want any more people messing it up.
Yeah, I never thought about that. You're probably right.
We'll certainly notify any family. I said we'll notify any family and the press, too, but we'll do it in L.A.
Except I don't relish the idea of pulling into Los Angeles with one dead body and a trainload of suspects. I mean, it can be a little embarrassing.
Well, that's not going to happen. We're going to pull into L.A. with a murderer under arrests. It's as simple as that. You through?
Yeah.
Commissioner, I have checked everybody's service revolver, and they're all clean.
Thanks. Oh, this is Les Walker, Sergeant Enright. May I have your attention a moment, please? Some of you already know Chief Walker from Stockton. He and Sergeant Fisher are going on with us to L.A. I'm going to ask them to work with Sergeant Enright, Officer Davis, and me. You all right, Les?
Fine.
Now, I'm suspending the rest of you from duty temporarily. Sam?
Yeah.
You want to take over the questioning, Les?
Right.
Sit down.
Sit down. Do I get a last meal, Commissioner?
Are you guilty?
Oh, sometimes just basic stupidity, but nothing really serious.
Sam?
Mm-hmm.
I know the whole story.
Oh, terrific. Tell it to me.
I know you're the fictitious Joe Hammond. You gave Tommy Brown all that confidential material he has in his book.
Well, what makes you think so?
No, Sam, don't waste my time. I know it.
I suppose I deny it, Commissioner.
I don't care if you swear on a stack of training manuals. I said I know it. That means I know it. Do you think I'd let a whole department get stabbed in the back without at least finding out who held the knife?
All right, look, Commissioner, I did...
What? You sold out some of your best friends, and you haven't got the guts to admit it.
All right, look, Commissioner, I didn't know he was going to write that kind of book. I thought he was going to write something different. I thought he was going to write something good about cops for a change.
How could that be? That man? What kind of a book could you expect him to write?
I didn't expect him to write that kind.
All right. Granted, you were taken for a ride, but look at the position you're in. You've made yourself suspect number one.
Me?
Yes, you. Not only do you have a motive, but you were the only man in this car when he was killed. Everybody else is accounted for.
Commissioner, I did not kill the man.
No, I don't think you did. But after that fight you had with him, you're on the head of the list. And I have to act accordingly.
Meaning what?
Meaning I want your gun.
Am I under arrest, Commissioner?
Not yet.
All right.
Sam.
Yes, sir.
I won't tell this to anyone. No reason you should either.
Okay. Thanks, Commissioner.
Terrific. Tell it to me again.
Police brutality.
Okay, fellas, now let's go through this one more time, okay? All right. Now, you were...
Right here. No,
Oh, okay. Where was I?
you were over there.
You're going crazy. You were over there. I was here.
I got it. He's lying. He's the murderer.
Oh, come on now, fellas. This is for real. Now, you were here, and he was there. Let me ask you another question. Where do you think I was? Back there.
Oh, this is crazy. Look, let me tell you, nobody knows where these were.
You know why?
Sure. They all let their guard down. They stopped being cops and became tourists.
Miss Avery? Chief Walker. Stockton Police. I'd like to ask you a couple of questions.
Go ahead.
Commissioner McMillan tells me you're the one that found the body. Is that correct?
Who are you doubting, him or me?
I'm not Okay. What happened when you found the body?
I screamed.
And?
I screamed again.
And then?
And then nothing.
Now, that's not exactly correct, is it?
What are you saying?
I'm saying that I'm not like McMillan. That I won't buy a story just because it's neatly packaged and ready to take home. With me, you've got to prove it. And if you haven't noticed, I'm a little more blunt.
What would you like me to prove? That I screamed 3 times instead of twice?
No. I'd like you to prove that you're not harboring information or evidence. That Brown hasn't already cracked you. Told you something important. Important enough to get him killed. I'd like you to prove that you are simply a traveling companion. Just along for the ride. And I'll let you go about your business. You are in business, aren't you?
You're right, you're not McMillan.
Okay, now let's go through this one more time, see if we can't get a proper sequence of events, all right?
Sorry, Commissioner, that's the report.
Okay. Anything breaking?
Nothing here. Did you speak to Nicole?
Just now. I'm afraid I was a bit rough on her. I had a hunch, but it didn't work out.
Hildreth?
Spoke to him, too. But he's clear. There's no way he could have gotten into Brown's compartment without having been seen.
What about,
Off the top? Why, he's not a young man.
strong man?
Okay, maybe you're right. I'll put him back on the suspect list.
Oh, I think you better check out the train crew. Probably a dead end, but I think it has to be done.
Okay. Do that next.
Now, look, all I am really interested in is where you were between 8 o'clock and 8:15.
Go on, tell him. Kid with a nice face like yours has nothing to hide. Believe me, I know people. Tell him.
I was right here.
Doing what?
Doing what? What could he possibly be doing? Probably writing a letter to his mother or probably studying to be a doctor. What were you doing? Tell him.
I was reading.
You see, reading, I tell you, our country is in very good hands. What were you reading? Tell him.
This is a book. How to cheat at cards.
Well, what are you sitting there for? Grill him. This is another Billy the Kid.
I won't even ask, Commissioner.
I wouldn't know how to tell you. What are you doing here?
I was trying to see if someone could get from one end of the train to the other without going through the club car.
They can. That's just what I was doing.
Yeah, you're kidding.
You see anybody come through here?
No, why?
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. Hey, listen, what are you driving at?
Somebody tried to push me off this train and damn near succeeded.
Oh, come on, Commissioner. That's 2 for 2 tonight. Listen, I don't mind being accused of knocking this chump Tommy Brown out of the box, but this is going just a little bit too far. Listen, I saved your life tonight. Now, that's points for me.
True. Listen, every night I find myself dealing around the train.
That's all right. You just make sure that everybody on this train is on the same list with me. We're even.
I'm sorry, Sam.
So far, everybody swears that they were next to everybody else, so this car is clean.
Same with the train crew. 0.
All right, everybody, let me have your attention, please. I want everybody to take a seat. The same seat you had when we first boarded the train. When we left San Francisco, every seat in this car was taken. Where's that man?
Hey, wait a minute. Where's the guy with the glasses?
What guy?
There was a man sitting across from me. From Oakland, I think. He was wearing tinted glasses and a mustache.
That's right, Commissioner. I kept trying to talk to the guy, but he kept ignoring me.
What's his name?
I don't remember the name.
Thorne?
I didn't think of looking at his name tag.
Does anybody know his name?
Carl Lohman. Of course, that's who it is. Carl Lohman. He should be here. I checked him on the train.
All right, you saw him get on board. Did anybody see him get off? Anybody? So where is he?
Gee, I always wanted to sleep on a train. Makes me feel like I'm in a Robert Donat movie. With Merle Oberon, C. Aubrey Smith, Ellen Drew, Frank Morgan, S. Issa Cole. Murder on a Train. We'll get Hitch to direct it.
Right. We'll get Hitch to direct it.
Listen, is this gonna take very long?
It'll take about a couple of minutes.
Oh, great, because I suddenly got a mad urge for some popcorn.
Well, at least we know who we're looking for.
Do we?
Yes, we're looking for Carl Lohman.
I guess so. Wish I had your confidence.
I don't understand how he can still be aboard. We've searched this train from engine to tail light. There's just nobody here.
Well, there's got to be.
What's the big mystery? Somebody boards the train in San Francisco. The train is going too fast for somebody to jump off. We search every inch of the train only to find we can't find somebody. It's basic police work. I don't see why you're so concerned. We'll be stopping in Fresno in a few minutes. I ordered a stop there.
Why are we stopping?
I want to call Oakland.
What is it? What's the matter?
My berth is stuck.
What's that got to do with help, murder, rape?
Well, if I yelled help, my berth is stuck, would you come running?
Oh, Mildred, you know, one of these days you really are going to be in trouble and nobody's going to come.
Please, Sergeant, no lectures, huh? Just get it down. I'd like to get a little sleep.
It's stuck.
You're kidding.
Really? Didn't the porter come in here earlier and let it down for you?
Well, yeah, but then I went out for a few minutes, and when I came back, the thing had snapped back into the wall.
Well, it's lucky you weren't inside of it.
Would you just, please?
Okay, stand back.
I'm back as far as I can go.
Well, then stand aside.
Hey, you did it!
Oh, boy, did I do it.
Hey, did you hurt your back?
Yeah, it's okay. It's just an injury, an old injury. It'll work itself out in a couple of minutes.
Hey, thanks, Sergeant. You're a love.
Thank you, Mildred. You get a good night's sleep now, okay?
Yeah, right. You too.
Oh, not me. Not in one of those things.
Why not?
Well, you see, Mildred, I'm always afraid that it will itself shut when I'm inside of it and that I'll suffocate.
Go on, a man your size?
True, but if I were as little as you, I wouldn't go near one of those things. Night. Sleep tight.
Yeah, right.
Hello, Akins? Les Walker. Yeah. Fine, thanks. Listen, Phil, I need some information on Carl Lohman. I'm trying to find out if he's on that convention train to Los Angeles tonight. I'll hold on. He says he's there. He spoke to him.
It's not possible.
Well, you want to tell him that? Yeah, Phil. Yeah, fine, thanks. I'll be talking to you. Bye.
So we're not looking for Carl Loman after all.
Drive anywhere, just go.
What do you want me to do? Drive straight ahead?
Anywhere, just drive.
Commissioner?
What is it?
If this isn't L.A. and there isn't any newsstand here and you don't want anybody to escape, then someone is.
What are you talking about?
Nicole, I saw her through the window.
Why didn't you tell me?
Well, I just did.
I hope you don't expect a big tip.
Nice try.
Nice tries, finish last. Pay the man. After you. Good night, Commissioner.
Got a question.
I'm awfully sleepy.
Why did you run?
I can't stand trains. I'm a claustrophobic.
You're a suspect.
Well, then why don't you arrest me? Or put me under house arrest or do whatever you people do. Meanwhile, I'm going night-night. Please.
Either you're hiding something, or you're a murderess. I'm going to find out which before we get to L.A. Good night. First homicide, Lisa?
Yes, sir.
How would you like to be in homicide?
Well, I'd love to.
Oh, wait a minute, not so fast. It's a pretty ugly business.
Well, Commissioner, have you ever tried giving a traffic ticket to a tired, hot cab driver on a day when his tips have been bad?
I see what you mean. Give it some thought.
Yes. Thanks.
Good night.
Good night.
Who do I call if I hear a prowler?
Call his wife.
Is there something wrong, ma'am?
Yeah, I hate to break it to you, but I think you made up the luggage rack.
No, ma'am, that's the berth.
Yeah, well, your berth is going to be the death of me. Listen, tell me, how does one become unencumbered clothes-wise?
One gets undressed before one gets into a berth.
Oh, one does one? Uh-huh. Well, it's too late for that now. I'm more on than I am encumbered. Thanks anyway.
That's all right, ma'am.
They sure Claudette Colbert started this way.
say goodnight, Commissioner.
Say it.
Good night, Commissioner.
Good night, Charlie.
Commissioner?
Yeah?
This case sure is a puzzler, isn't it? I mean, it's really got me worried, sir.
Why?
Well, because I can't get a handle on it, and because whoever is the killer, well, is really clever.
And that worries you?
Up to here.
Have a seat.
Thank you. You see, sir, here we have someone who is so sure of themselves that they actually board a train with 20 policemen on it.
Okay, takes guts.
Yeah, well, he's also leading us around by the nose, sir. And he's making us run in ever-widening circles, to coin a phrase. Which I wish I hadn't.
We'll catch him. There's always something somewhere a killer overlooks.
Such as?
Such as? This, for example.
What is that, sir?
Sergeant Enright. It's a handkerchief.
Oh, I know that. But what is its significance?
Oh. Well, I don't know. I found it in the baggage car. It has a foreign substance on it. I want you to keep it until we can get it to a lab.
Foreign substance?
Yes, it's kind of sticky.
Sticky?
Oh, no, it's just glue.
Oh, okay.
No, don't put it in your pocket. You get it confused with your own handkerchief.
Oh, don't worry about that, sir. I never use one.
Don't you ever blow your nose?
Oh, I'm a tissue man, sir.
Oh, well, I use a handkerchief.
Well, I've always used tissues.
I mean, what if you sneeze?
Well, it's very strong, but you just throw it away so that every blow is a new experience.
What do you do with the handkerchiefs you get for Christmas?
I get lots of them, but I always give them away.
You can give me one.
This year, I promised. Good night.
Good night. Hey, Charlie?
Yes, sir?
How long will it be till we get to L.A.?
Oh, about 4 hours.
Good night.
You know, Commissioner, if we're going to catch this killer, we really better hurry.
Get some rest.
Good night.
Good night. Charlie?
Yes, sir?
Don't rest too soundly.
Gotcha.
Good night.
Yes, ma'am?
Listen, I got a question. What if, in the middle of the night I want to get down out of here? What exactly do I do?
Oh, you see this button on the side of your berth? Mark Porter?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you push it and I'll bring you a ladder.
Oh, okay, thanks. Good night.
Good night. You know, that's a simpler solution.
What's that?
You can sleep in a lower berth.
Sleep in the lower berth? Are you kidding? I waited all my life to sleep in an upper berth. I wouldn't be able to sleep if I didn't sleep in the upper berth. Night.
Good night.
Come on, let me help. I heard running, sir, so I followed. Did you see who hit you?
No, didn't you see him when he ran out?
No, sir.
Let's go. We may as well forget it. Whoever it was is probably in his bunk by now.
Commissioner, this is it. Murder on a train. Leslie Howard, Ann Baxter, Martin Toran. I just heard some shots.
When?
In the next car.
Where?
Just now. Except we won't believe it, Commissioner. I was just looking for something to read. I heard the shots of it.
What happened?
Someone was in my room.
Stay with her.
Well, Mac, I'm just going to bed. So should you.
I was.
How long have you been in here? From the last time you saw me till now. Why?
Nobody else in here.
No. Now, would you like to tell me why?
Somebody was just in Nicole's room, and somebody tried to kill me. And somebody has disappeared from this train, and somebody has killed Tommy Brown. Other than that, I guess I'm just a naturally curious person.
Ask a silly question.
You get a police commissioner for an answer. Sorry if I disturbed you.
No, Albeck. You do your job the best way you can. And if I act like a railroad president at times, please try and forgive me. I'm really a section hand at heart.
I like section hands. Always wanted to be one as a kid. Just before fireman and just after doorman. All right, changing of the guard. Enright, stay loose. I may need you later on. Good night again, Mildred.
Oh, but Commissioner, this is it. Murder on a train. I've waited for this all my life.
Then you can wait a few more minutes.
If I was Patsy Kelly, you wouldn't treat me like that.
I'll be in my room, sir. What happened?
I woke up and I saw someone going through my things.
Can you describe him?
No, it was too dark.
I assumed he was shooting at you. It was you who fired those shots, wasn't it? Wasn't it? And I suppose you don't have a gun. A small one, judging by this.
That's right. And if you want to search, you'll need a warrant. Otherwise, I'd like to go back to sleep.
And I suppose you have no idea what he was after when he came into your room.
No idea.
Play footsie with me now. It's getting late and I'm tired.
I can be getting tired, too.
You can also be getting dead. Now stop being Little Miss Courageous and tell me what you know.
I don't know anything.
I'll have somebody watch your door. Come in.
Anything at all, sir?
You think that Nicole knows something that we should know? Of course she knows. She wouldn't tell me. What worries me is someone else is going to try to find out again.
You think that she's a target?
Oh, of course she's a target. I don't want to take any chances. Going with the murder on her hands. I want you to watch her door.
Yes, sir.
Les?
Oh, Mac.
Mac, I've been going through this so-called book. They really raked your department over the coals, didn't they?
They?
Brown and this Joe Hammond.
Yeah. They really did a number on us.
Do you have any idea who Joe Hammond is?
Do you?
Better than an idea. I know who he is.
Who?
You remember that fella you sent over to us last summer? He helped me out in that hijacking case?
Oh, yeah, Sam Dugan.
That's Joe Hammond.
What makes you so sure?
Well, I know one man's style from another after all these years on the job. Look at this, right here. The cases, the methods, even the expressions. That's got to be him.
You really are a good detective.
Meaning I'm right?
I don't think you killed Brown. Sam's too good a cop.
Well, I admire your loyalty.
But not my brain.
Mac, look. Supposing this Sam is smarter than you think he is. Supposing he purposely provoked that fight with Brown just to throw you off.
You're forgetting the now infamous phony Carl Lohman. And somebody just now tried to break into Cole's room not more than 10 minutes ago.
What?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Thanks. She missed. Took 2 shots at her. I'm going to have another talk with Cole. Oh, come along with me, will you?
Yes, he will.
Why don't you take a rest, Charlie? We'll take over.
I'm fine, sir, honest.
I know, but if you get tired and I get tired, the killer doesn't, we're in trouble.
It's true.
She's gone.
That's impossible, sir. I never took my eyes off the door.
You must have.
Search this train, damn it. I want her found. Find her?
No, sir.
It's impossible.
I must be tired, sir. I mean, I know that this thing couldn't have happened, but it did.
Tired, it's nearly dawn. We're due in L.A. in a couple of hours. Let's get freshened up. I'll meet you in a little while. Excuse me. Pardon me. Hello, Nicole.
Close the door.
Figured you'd be in here. How did you get past Enright?
I didn't. I left when you went to get him to guard me.
And so you came in here.
He was guarding an empty room.
You'll be thrilled. What's that?
This? A-flat, 6mm, made in Spain. It's not for you. It's for small bores.
That's not the gun that killed Tommy.
Is that a question?
No, you didn't kill him. You're here because you're frightened someone will come after you again for the papers.
What papers?
The ones I guessed at, you just proved.
Are you smart or am I stupid?
Both.
Well, at least you had the grace not to smile when you said it.
What were you after in Tommy's room after he was killed?
My insurance policy.
I hope it's not long term. Someone came after you once to get those papers. They're going to try it again.
If you're trying to scare me, you're succeeding.
Of course I am. I want to scare you so much you'll stop being so stupid and see I'm your only chance of getting off this train alive. Now, you want to tell me where those papers are? Or shall we just forget the whole thing and you can go back to your apartment? You'll be on your own.
You wouldn't.
Don't bet on it.
It's notes from Tommy's new book. Only this time he has positive proof that some very big police were doing some very bad things. It's in code. You understand it?
Enough. This will put someone in jail for a long time. All we have to do is identify this Mr. Six. Do you know who that is?
No.
Mr. Six. Six what? Six letters, 6 districts.
Commissioner! Rise and shine! Rise and...
Well, I better get dressed or he'll be scandalized.
I'll keep these papers. You better give me your AFLOC. Oh.
What's wrong?
Huh?
What's wrong?
Nothing. I'm sorry. I'll see you at breakfast. Conductor, ask the engineer to stop the train for a few minutes, will you please?
Well, we're just coming to the platform.
I know. Please do as I ask, and ask Mr. Hildreth to join us in the dining car.
Yes, sir.
I wonder where she spent the night.
Oh, hi, Commissioner. Would you like 2 3-minute eggs or 3 2-minute eggs?
3 2-minute eggs.
Scrambled.
Matt, can I see you?
Sure.
It looks like we're going to be in a couple of minutes. I guess we blew it, huh?
Looks like it.
Look, I've been trying to figure out who has a jurisdiction on this. As far as I can tell, if he was killed while the train was still in San Joaquin County, then I have it.
I never thought of that. Looks like you'll have to take over the investigation.
Oh, but wait a minute. You take it. This one's going to be pretty ugly. I wonder why we're stopping here. We're not quite at the platform.
Because I asked them to.
Morning, Mac.
Morning.
The conductor said you wanted to see me.
I do.
You're not going to tell me you have it solved, are you?
I am. Everybody, I have something to say that might prove interesting. Tommy Brown was getting ready to write another book. This one even more messy than the first one. Messy, but truthful. He had some very damaging evidence against a police official somewhere in this state. The evidence was in Tommy Brown's notes. Tommy Brown was killed because of those notes. These notes. Nicole knew about these notes, so that after Brown was killed, she took them. Why? Was she planning on saving them for the police department? Or was she planning on blackmailing this police official? Whatever she intended doesn't matter because she gave them to me just a little while ago. Is everybody with me so far? Tommy Brown's dead, and the killer still doesn't have the notes. Nicole does. So he goes after Nicole.
Mac, do you think the killer is still aboard this train?
I don't think so. I know so.
But how? You searched, and I searched.
What were you searching for?
For a killer. For someone in hiding.
That was our mistake. We were looking for somebody who wasn't there.
Commissioner, now I'm confused. Do you mean that the person we were looking for wasn't there?
That's correct.
Well, then where?
Someplace else.
I have a dumb question. If he wasn't there then, where is he now?
Right here, in this car with us. He looks different now because after he killed Brown, he slipped into the baggage car, took off his mustache and tinted glasses, jumped off the train when we stopped at Madeira. Remember that handkerchief I gave you?
Yes, sir.
That was spirit gum on it. The lab will verify.
Mac, wouldn't you have noticed somebody trying to escape from the train?
He didn't jump off the train to try to escape. He came back on as somebody else.
Who?
You.
Well, that's some hell of a story.
I wouldn't tell it, Les, if it weren't true.
Well, now, you'd better be able to prove that. Because if you can't, I'm going to see your hide hanging from City Hall.
Right. Show me your convention ticket.
Right here, Mac.
Where'd you get it? That was given out in San Francisco. How could you have it if you didn't get on there?
I got it in Madeira.
That's not true. I still have your ticket.
You posed as Carl Lohman. You stayed in the background, saying nothing, doing nothing that anyone could remember, except kill Tommy Brown. You're Mr. Six, the man Brown found out about. You're the big police official who's been corrupt for years. Am I right, Les?
You're crazy. Did you hear what he's saying? All right, everybody freeze. Don't move.
What are you going to do, Les? Kill 20 of us with 6 shots?
No. But if anybody tries to stop me, I'm going to get 6 of you. You want to be number 1?
think somebody should call the cops.
Hi, everybody. Welcome home. Hi.
Hiya.
Hi. Hiya. This is the reception I get after being separated from my loved ones for 2 long and lonely days. Hi. I get a warmer reception than that from my dry cleaner.
Yeah, he gets to sleep at night.
Didn't you get to sleep at all?
Are you kidding? Haven't you heard the news?
Yes, I've heard the news. It's been all over the television, the newspapers. Mac, you're a regular hero.
He's a hero. What about yours truly? Who, with a little help from her friends, was instrumental in catching the killer?
Oh, gee, that's not what you told me on the phone yesterday, Mac.
Oh, really?
Mildred, you were dispensable.
Of course I was. Then back at the hotel, with all those partiers running around, who could get any sleep?
Did you get a chance to see your family?
Well, funny thing. You know, I was going to surprise them. They were out of town. A neighbor said they were up here in San Francisco.
Oh, Mildred, that's a shame.
Yeah, well, c'est la vie. Wake me next Tuesday.
Gee, it's too bad you didn't have any fun.
Fun? How could I not have fun with Mildred around? How are you?
I'm fine. Doctor says I'm right on schedule.
Oh, good.
Come on, I think we better take a nap. You must be exhausted.
Oh, no, I've had 10 hours sleep.
Oh, well, I'm kind of tired. I stayed up late last night watching The Late Show.
Oh, yeah? What'd you see?
I saw Murder on the Train with C. Aubrey Smith and Merle Oberon.
Ah, Mr. Hagstrom. I didn't expect you until tomorrow.
How's it coming, Pablo?
Huh. See for yourself.
Looks okay.
I show you a masterpiece and you say, okay, you have a soul of a goat. Here.
Just as long as you can't tell the difference between this and the real thing.
There is no difference to the naked eye. Of course, when you check the serial numbers.
Pablo.
Yeah?
Let us worry about that.
Okay.
All right, Central, I appreciate that information. Yeah, you've been a big help. 10-4.
The night watchman found him, Commissioner, around 6 o'clock this morning. Medical examiner figures he's been dead maybe 2-3 days. Pablo Javier and I go back some 10 years when I nailed him for printing up no-good mutual tickets.
What's the connection? You two didn't bring me down here to look at a small-time forger.
No, sir, but do you remember the murder of Ito Mirabushi last December, sir?
Remember, I thought the Emperor was going to come down himself and take over the case personally.
Well, sir, we just got a ballistics match on the...
Already? That was fast.
Yes, sir. And the same gun that killed Mirabushi also killed our friend Pablo here.
Well, I thought Mirabushi's death was a simple mugging. What about...
Well, you can leave out robbery in this case, sir. Pablo still had his wallet on him, and it contained almost $300.
Real money?
Pablo never printed greenbacks, sir. Not that he couldn't do it, but he never liked fooling with the feds.
Uh-huh. Well, I admire your speed on the ballistics match, but I can't believe that you got his fingerprints already.
We didn't, sir.
Well, there's ink on his hand. Maybe he was working on something at the time he was killed. If we can find out what that was, maybe we can find out why Mirabushi was killed, and or who killed him.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Morning, Dave.
Anything for the rumor, sir?
Of course.
You want to tell me about it?
What rumor?
The chain. The human chain. The pollution freaks are going to line up across the Bay Bridge and at 5 o'clock.
Oh, that's news to me.
What are you planning to do about it?
Well, we'll send him some units.
Commissioner.
What is it?
Commissioner.
But if it's a peaceful assembly.
Commissioner, I have to tell you something.
Is that all?
No, there's more.
But you just can't arrest people for demonstration.
Arrest? Are you kidding? A handful of kids against thousands of hot, sweaty commuters? We'll just try to prevent a massacre.
Commissioner, Mrs. McMillan is waiting in your office.
Oh, thank you. You know, you really ought to do something about that cold.
I am. I'm sneezing.
You got all that? Hi, Sally.
Stuart.
Mother.
Oh, you're looking wonderful, Stuart, considering your age. And you've grown, too, haven't you? Either that or I've shrunk.
Oh, Mother, I'm sure you haven't.
You never can tell. I met this adorable plantation owner in Caracas. Bananas, I think it was, or was it coffee beans?
Mother.
Carlos, a dear man, but I towered over him. He was a little in love with me, but I never really could think of him in that way. And then one night, the drums began beating in the jungle, voodoo drums. And the next day, there was Carlos looking down on me.
Mother.
Now, maybe he stuffed paper in his shoes, but if you ask me, those drums were aimed at me.
Mother, forget about the drums. Now, why haven't you called or written?
But I did, last week.
Now.
No. Last week, I was in Marseille. They had that terrible problem with the telephone company. Look at this. Mac, you've done so well. But I intended to write, and that's practically the same thing.
Practically.
Now, don't keep me in suspense any longer. How is the baby?
Oh, he's wonderful.
Boy or girl?
Mother, I just told you.
I can't wait to see him. And his mother, too. Of course.
Yes, of course.
Now, don't be critical. After all, I am your mother, and the least you could do is to pretend to be glad to see me.
But I am.
You and Sally never write.
We never know where you are.
Well, I'm right here.
And that's wonderful.
Well, of course it is, because I'm a wonderful mother. Now, you needn't worry that I'm here to stay. This is a very short visit.
Oh, no. This time we're going to spend some time together.
Oh, Stuart, I have to tell you about your sister.
Megan? What is it?
I don't quite know how to tell you, but Megan is getting married.
Married? But... Well, I mean, she's only a child, yes.
It's my first reaction, but Stuart, really, she's 27 and well past time. She had a life of her own. Traipsing around the continents with an old woman may be all right when you're 16, but enough is enough. Anyway, Randy is just a darling boy. I know you're going to love him.
Wait a minute now. You mean Megan and this boy are here in town?
Yes, of course. McMillans have been getting married in San Francisco since the days of the gold rush. These two are not going to be any different.
But who is he? I mean, what do we know about him?
Well, they met in the Virgin Islands about 5 months ago. His name is Randy Newmark, and he comes from one of the finest families in Rochester, New York. He's just terribly bright. He's a fine mind for business. I just know he's going to be a millionaire before he's 40.
And I just knew that if there was anybody smart enough to jump at a chance like this, it'd be you folks here at Tamco.
Newmark, Trans-Alaska mining success speaks for itself. Now, just what is it you're proposing?
Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Kovacs, like it shows here on the map, you've got about 200,000 acres of abandoned gold mines and silver. And you know, sir, with the price of gold and silver going up the way it is, it certainly does pay to go back in there and start digging.
Now, you didn't come in here to explain to me how we run our operations,
No,
did you?
no, sir, I did not. I came here to talk to you about people. Yes, sir, people. The backbone of a company. But, sir, in order to keep them productive, you got to keep them happy. Now, I know you're going to have about 1,000 employees up there by the end of the year. And that's why I figured, well, sir, You just gotta have a country club.
Country club?
Yes, sir, with a golf course and a little spa. Now, that's why I bought this little piece of land. It's not very big. It's only about 1,000 acres, but, sir, it's got genuine hot springs on it. And lots of good building sites for homes and,
We're not interested,
Now, you just let me finish up here, sir. The fact is, well, I paid a good deal of money for that land, about $300,000. And I owe about another $500,000. Now, that's why I thought that maybe you could put up the rest of the money, just as a sort of loan, you understand? And I could give you, 10% of my operation, once I get it going. Now, I have some plans here that show the layout of the golf course and the
Mark, save your
building
breath.
sites for the home.
Save your breath. Look, let me explain something to you. We don't need your little 1,000 acres if we were going to put up a recreation center, which we are not. Secondly, for this kind of money, we would demand at least half interest in your development.
Half?
Half.
Oh, listen, maybe it'd be better if I spoke to Mr. Ridgely himself.
Mr. Ridgely will not be in until Monday. Anyhow, I am empowered to make this sort of decision.
Well,
Let me explain something to you. And let me give you a little word of advice. Never dive in the deep end of a pool unless you can swim. Now, you're in over your head. Cut your losses. Get out while you can.
A written proposal. Now, I could
Don't
have a
waste
written...
your time.
I see. Well, Mr. Kovacs, it certainly was nice to meet you, and, if you should change your mind, I've left my phone number with your secretary.
Fine.
Have a nice day now.
Thank you very much.
It's okay, kid. The place is clean. How'd it go?
Terrific. Thinks I'm a Class A jerk. Tossed me out of my ear.
So, now we stick to the cheese and the tramp, and if Alan Kovacs is the rat I think he is, he's about to bite off more than he can chew.
Maybe so, Harry. If he goes for it before Bert and Ridgely gets back on Monday. Remember, Kovacs is stupid. Ridgely isn't.
Oh, don't worry, Jack. I've been plucking pigeons like Kovacs for 30 years. You get a feeling about guys like that. He's ripe like a soft brown banana waiting to be peeled.
When's the unpeeling, Harry?
First thing tomorrow morning.
Have faith, kid. Harry's good. Real good.
You're not so bad yourself. Hi.
Hi.
Did you miss me?
For 20 minutes, don't flatter yourself.
A little something to jog your memory.
I don't think my memory needs any jogging. How'd it go?
Oh, I don't know, Megan. I don't think it's such a good deal.
Really? Everybody's making so much money with them. Didn't you say that Howard Wilkins doubled his investment in 90 days?
Sweetheart, believe me, and I think we're going to be much better off with the condominium in Hawaii. It's a lot safer.
Safe? If the Wright brothers played it safe, we'd be rowing to Hawaii.
Would you like to drive, woman?
Yes, sir. We're gonna be 15 minutes late already.
Mustn't be late for the in-laws.
You're really gonna like my brother.
Oh, I'm sure.
You're a lot alike, you two. Anyway, he's probably not even at the restaurant yet. He's probably down at City Hall talking with the mayor.
Mayor? What is he, a politician?
Didn't I tell you? Max, the police commissioner.
What about the ink on his fingers?
Well, sir, it looks like Lieutenant Callahan was right. Whatever Pablo what's-his-name was printing, it wasn't U.S. currency.
But he was working on something.
Well, sir, about 6 weeks ago, he took a basement office on Calaveras Avenue, and he paid for it in advance in cash. Then he moved in this printing press. But there's nothing there now, sir. The place has been cleaned out.
Where's he staying?
We're checking that out now, sir.
Okay, keep at it.
Sally, where have you two been? I've been trying to track you down all afternoon.
Oh, dancing at the Escudero, lunch at the top of Mad Impetuous Day.
We've been shopping.
Commissioner, could you take one of these? My good knee is going.
You know, why didn't you tell me you were going to be home? I never would have hired that babysitter. Do you know what they're charging
The
these days?
babysitter is gone. We have company.
Wonderful. Who?
Family company.
My mother's in Houston with Uncle George.
My family.
Your family?
My family.
Sally. Sally, dear.
Mother McMillan. Oh, God.
This is a surprise, dear?
It certainly is, dear.
Oh, you sweet, precious thing. Let me look at you. Heavens, I'm so jealous. You look so young. And just having had that superb little fellow up there, you must tell me what you use. And I suppose this is Muriel.
Mildred, Mother.
Oh, Mildred, of course. I've heard so much about you. Tell me, the Stewarts still leave his shorts under the bed?
I wouldn't know, Mrs. McMillan. I try to go under the bed as little as possible.
Mildred, why don't you beat it?
Aha, my very thought, Commissioner.
Well, here we are. How long has it been since you two have seen each other?
Oh, must be 6 years.
2 months and 14 days.
Now, isn't that precious? I wasn't sure you'd remember.
Well, that was the day that Mac and I got married.
Oh, has it really been that long? Well, Sally, I know you'll be so happy to know there's going to be another wedding in the family.
Mother McMillan.
Please, Sally, darling. Just Beatrice. You make me feel like Grandma Moses.
Well, you've been alone too long, Beatrice.
Oh, heavens, no, not me. No, indeed. No, 23 years with Stuart's father was marriage enough for anyone. No, I mean Megan.
Meg? Did you hear that, Mac? That's fabulous.
Yes, I heard that.
If I'm going to make another meatloaf, I have to go get some more hamburger.
Hold it, Mildred. Forget the meatloaf. I made a reservation at the Lobster Trap, and we're late already.
Stuart, you really should have insisted that Sally and Muriel join us.
Mother, I did, but Sally was exhausted, and Mildred made a date with her sister.
Well, only because you wouldn't let her visit her sister for the rest of the week.
Mother, believe me, when Muriel volunteers to visit her sister, it's generally out of desperation, not devotion.
Oh, I couldn't. Not on top of the bourbon.
Burgundy, Mother.
Burgundy?
All right, you two lovebirds. I think now is the spot where I say a few badly chosen words.
Wonderful, a toast.
Don't make a fool of yourself, Mac.
A little respect, please. Meg, Randy, here's to your troubles. May they all be small ones. Here's to your heartaches. May they all pass by as quickly as they came. And most of all, may you have as much happiness as I've had with Sally the last 6 years.
Thank you. That's beautiful.
Thanks.
Well, dear, I think it's time we retreated to the powder room. Don't worry. Your brother doesn't get vicious until the stroke of 12.
Don't count on it. Well, now,
sir. I'm
no,
sorry.
you go ahead. No. You go ahead. No, I insist. No, I insist.
Well, sir.
Mac. People call me Mac, whether they know me or not.
Mac. I guess this comes as something of a shock to you. I mean, you really don't know very much about me at all.
That's true.
But there's one thing I want you to understand. I love Megan. Very, very much.
I can see that.
Now, as far as my prospects are concerned, I have an investment in a condominium in Hawaii, which I hope will be a profitable one and perhaps will lead to other things. If not, I have a good background. I was born in Rochester and I attended Choate Prep School.
Choate? When was that?
13 years ago.
Well, then you must know Charlie Clark.
Clark?
Yeah, football. Halfback. He's about your age. His father's one of our chief inspectors.
Charlie Clark? Yeah, of course. I mean, everybody knew of him. Wouldn't have had much of a team without him. I doubt that he'd remember me, however. Oh, here, let me have it.
No, I'll take it.
Come on.
No,
now.
this one's Saturday. You start paying the bills. This one's on me.
Listen, don't worry about Megan. We're gonna be just fine.
I know you will.
Mac, how should we do the monogram on the silver? Should we do R with a big N and a little M, or should we just do RN plain?
Oh, just give him money.
That's too impersonal.
Well, then give him a personal check.
Mac, we've got to give him something special now.
Charlie Clark.
Who's Charlie Clark?
He never went to Choate.
Neither did I.
Neither did Randy.
What?
Tonight at the restaurant, Randy told me he went to Choate and that he knew Charlie Clark. You know Ed Clark's son?
Uh-huh.
Well, I knew something was wrong, and it just now hit me. Charlie Clark never went to Choate. He went to Harkness.
So?
So he lied to me.
In 3 days, your sister is going to marry a very charming young man, and already you're acting like a cop.
I am not.
You are, too.
I'm not either.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You deliberately trapped him into a fib.
I did not.
You did. Besides, do you know how many Charlie Clarks there are in the world? Why would he lie anyway?
I don't know.
He can't be a fortune hunter. Your mom and Meg don't exactly have a lot of money.
Okay, let's change the subject.
Okay. Do you remember our wedding night?
Uh-huh.
Do you think I'm as beautiful as I was then? Now, don't lie.
You're even more beautiful.
Sure don't act like it.
Remember now, Mama and Meg are in the next room.
They're probably asleep by now.
You think so?
Stuart?
Yes, Mother?
Stuart, is there something wrong in there?
No, everything's just fine.
That's nice. Don't fight. Night, Stuart.
Good night, Mother.
Say good night, Mac.
Good night.
Hiya.
Good morning.
Good morning. I don't believe that I've ever seen you before.
Oh, Maggie's home with a call. I'm Kathy.
Sergeant Enright. Charlie's okay.
Is he? That's nice.
What's nice?
That Charlie's okay. Who's Charlie?
No, I meant that you can call me Charlie.
Oh, then that must be your name.
Right.
I love the name Charlie.
You do?
It's my husband's name, too.
Uh-huh.
Now, what can I do for you, Sergeant?
Is he here?
I'm not sure. I mean, he's in the office, but I'm not sure he's here.
Yes?
Sergeant Enright to see you, sir.
Send him in.
Go right ahead.
Thanks. Good morning.
Bad morning. Do you know what it's like to try to read the newspaper in the kitchen among 4 jabbering women?
No, sir, not really. Anyway, it won't last forever.
Put that in writing and I'll hold you to it. What have you got?
Well, sir, we finally managed to trace Pablo Javier to the Crestmont Hotel.
Javier.
Beg pardon, sir?
Javier, not Javier. The J is silent. You pronounce it like a ha. Javier.
I can't say that, sir. Anyway, he's been a guest at this hotel and registered there for 2 weeks. There wasn't too much to find, except these.
What is it?
This, sir, is rag parchment. Looks like he was trying various inks. Now, the lab boys say that this isn't used for currency, but for certificates, stocks, bonds, that sort of thing.
You mean he was counterfeiting stocks and bonds?
Well, we don't know that for sure, sir.
Any tie-in with the death of that Japanese
Mirabushi, sir. Nothing that we can find, sir.
Well, keep trying. If you find anything out, let me know.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Sergeant.
Yes, sir?
I want you to check out somebody else for me.
Oh, right away, sir.
His name is Randall Newmark III. Born in Rochester, New York, 1945. I'm not sure the exact date.
Newmark? Isn't that the guy your sister's going to marry?
That's precisely why I want him checked out.
Any particular reason?
Yes. I mean, no. I don't know. Just do it.
Yes, sir.
And not a word about this to Mrs. McMillan.
Which one, sir?
Either one.
You can count on me.
Okay.
Frank Teasdale, geological engineer. We're What can I do for you, Mr. Teasdale?
Well, you can start by making this check good.
$10,000? Is this some kind of a joke? It's not even our check.
Well, it better be. The young fella gave me said it was being backed by Tampico.
Randall Newmark III. Wait a minute. Is he about 30 years old, dark hair, pleasant, kind of eager?
Yeah, that's the fella. Now, where do I find him?
Don't ask me. I threw him out of this office yesterday. Him and his crazy golf course.
Golf course? What golf course?
I don't know. He explained something to me about buying some land adjacent to our holdings, and he was going to put a country club up on it or something.
Golf course. That's what he told you? Well, that's funny.
What's funny?
Oh, nothing. You know, these crazy kids trying to make it big overnight. Well, thank you, Kovacs. Sorry I troubled you.
Teasdale. Why would he give you a $10,000 check for a geological survey?
Now, did I say that? Well, that must have been a slip of the tongue.
Dan?
You call me out?
Yeah, that little guy who just left, you can still catch him. I want you to follow him. Find out where he goes and who he sees.
Something wrong?
I don't know. Maybe that kid who came in here yesterday is not as dumb as he looks.
Impossible, Mrs. McMillan. Saturday is out.
Oh, you're just being stubborn.
And you, Mrs. McMillan, are being impossible. I have a golf game with the bishop at 10 o'clock.
Oh, twaddle.
A wedding at 4. And I have 2 baptisms. And I have to prepare a Sunday sermon. And in that regard, may I say, you have proved to be a singular inspiration.
Perhaps you could just squeeze us in the morning early before your golf match.
Oh, my dear child. The sacrament of marriage is a feast. You want me to be a short-order cook?
Otis Coffey, you married my son, you married me, you married my husband's parents before that.
That was my father.
Well, we did not travel halfway around the world to be treated like itinerants from Oakland.
Well, perhaps Sunday, late in the afternoon.
Reverend, we have to leave for Hawaii late Saturday night.
Yes, Randy was quite specific about that. Something about business, I believe. Stuart, this is terrible.
What happened?
Reverend Coffey. He refuses to marry the children on Saturday. Some silly excuse about another wedding. Now, Stuart, I want you to tell this old fool that he's behaving just like...
An old fool?
You see, he admits it.
I'm sorry, Commissioner, but at such short notice, it just isn't possible.
Look, Meg, why doesn't Randy fly to Hawaii, do what he has to do, and come back here and have your wedding next Saturday?
I'm flying to Hawaii with Randy on Saturday night, married or otherwise.
I just won't hear of it.
Oh, Mother, stop being an old prune. Randy and I are both adults. There's nothing wrong with a physical relationship, with or without benefit of all this. Right, Mac?
What?
Fiddle. I wasn't born yesterday, children. In fact...
What?
Never mind that. The important thing is that every McMillan but 3 since 1849 has been married in San Francisco. And the 3 that didn't, well, one was hanged as a horse thief, another sailed on the maiden voyage of the Titanic, and the last one ended up living in New York City. And I don't intend to see anything like that happen to my daughter.
Be careful, Reverend. When my mother sets her jaw like that, she's going to get her way, one way or another.
Well, maybe I can squeeze them in on Saturday at 2 o'clock, if I can get the bishop to play fast. But he has a tendency to pray a lot over his 8-foot putts.
2 o'clock it is. Now run along, children, before this aging Arnold Palmer changes his mind. Shoo! Shoo!
Oh, if it were anybody but you, Beatrice McMillan.
Otis Coffey, you're a pussycat.
Fudge.
Sorry to run off like this, but we were supposed to meet the hotel people 10 minutes ago.
Oh, my, in that case, I'd better drive.
Now, Mother, remember the speed limit.
copper. The kid's land is loaded with copper.
Sure looks like he fell into something and doesn't even know it.
Oh, he knows about it, all right. Don't worry about that. That guy Teasdale is one of the country's top geologists. Golf course, huh? Some golf course. He wants $500,000 from me at a lousy 10%. He's sitting on 12 to 15 million bucks. Well, I'm going to have another little talk with Mr. Newmark about his golf course.
Wouldn't that be something? I mean, if we were to end up owning a real mine, we might even become legitimate.
Hey, you want to get your finger broken? That's for supper. Put it back.
Mildred, I won't be here for supper.
Oh, you hungry? I'll make you a sandwich. Sit down.
No. That's all right.
No, if you get malnutrition, the commissioner will blame me. Let me see. Some bread. Right. No bread.
Well, that's okay, Mildred. Forget the bread. Well, maybe a little soup, a little salad.
No, a little patience. Wait a minute. No, where's the bread? Where would she...
Hey, Mildred, that's the dishwasher?
Yeah, I know that, and you know that. But would the commissioner's mother know that? Okay, lady, where'd you put it? Come on. Wait, just a sec. Okay, you're the detective. What goes with bread? Bread and butter? Okay, butter, but no bread.
Mildred, I'll just have a couple of cookies.
Bread and water. She wouldn't put it in the bathtub, would she? Oh, well, of course. How could I be so stupid?
What is it?
Well, we went to the store this morning. She insisted on buying oven-baked bread. I'm awfully glad she didn't want any head cheese.
No, Mother, I am not going to wear a swallowtail coat, especially when nobody but the family's going to be there.
You are not going to give away your sister looking like a bum.
A brand new, stylish, dark blue suit does not make me look like a bum.
Commissioner?
Oh, excuse me. This is my mother, Mrs. McMillan. This is Sergeant Enright.
How awfully nice to meet you.
My pleasure. How's Mrs. McMillan, sir?
Oh, she's fine. She's upstairs resting. Now, Sergeant, I want your honest opinion about something. Now, never mind that I am the commissioner, and you are just a sergeant with 7 years left to go until your pension.
I'm glad you're not loading the questions, sir.
Right. Now, which do you think would be more appropriate for a wedding in the afternoon with just the family? A nice, neatly pressed, dark suit, or a moth-eaten, rented set of tails with a too heavily starched collar that probably doesn't fit?
Well, sir, I've always believed that special occasions require special attention, especially weddings and funerals. They're both so final.
You see?
I'll see you in my office first thing in the morning.
Well, sir, if you need something to wear, my cousin Bernie runs a rental shop on Fremont Street. And, there is just one more thing, sir. About you-know-who? Who? About the gentleman you asked me to check out this morning. Well, if we could talk in private.
Yes, let's talk privately.
Stuart?
Yes, Mother.
You didn't.
Didn't what?
He did, didn't he?
No, ma'am, I did.
Stuart, you are incorrigible. Your own brother-in-law.
He's not my brother-in-law yet. Go ahead, Sergeant.
Well, sir, I don't know how you found out, but nobody named Randall Newmark III ever lived in Rochester or went to Choate School or any of those things.
Thank you. Very good. Nevertheless, I'll see you in my office first thing in the morning.
Yes, sir. Good night, Mrs. McMillan.
Good night.
Yep. Good night. Now, Mother, before you say one word, let's understand one thing. Meg is my little sister, and I feel a certain responsibility toward her. Now, cop or no cop, it's my duty to find out everything I can about the man she's going to marry. Now, I'm sorry if you don't agree, but that's just the way it is.
Absolutely.
The fact is, she's just a kid. What did you say?
You're absolutely right. Sergeant Enright is correct. Randy has been lying to us. I want to know as much as you do.
Absolutely.
On the other hand, there may be a perfectly valid explanation. And if there is, you will go downtown with that sergeant and pick out a set of tails tomorrow for Saturday. Agreed?
Agreed. You're a hard woman, Beatrice McMillan.
And you are a dear.
I heard you prowling around down here. I thought maybe you could use this.
Thank you, Mildred. That's very thoughtful.
You know, Commissioner, it's none of my business, but your sister's a big girl now. I don't think she'd mind if you'd go off to bed.
That's not why I'm waiting up.
Oh, my mistake.
Is something bothering you?
Well, yes, now that you mention it, there is. I'm having some trouble with,
My mother?
yeah. I know she's a fantastic lady, but she's making a shambles of my house. My coffee pot is missing. She puts empty cereal boxes back in the cupboard.
Oh, Mildred, she's used to living in hotels. She just wants to feel needed.
Needed. You know what she made for lunch? Oysters Rockefeller. If I was a Rockefeller, I'd sue for defamation of character. I'm still trying to pick little pieces of shells out of the garbage disposal.
She means well.
That's what they said about Marie Antoinette. I tell you, she's driving me crazy. If she doesn't leave Sunday the way she promised, I'm just going to have to go to my sister's house and wait until she does.
What on earth's going on?
Oh, nothing, Mother. Just a minor revolt.
Sunday, Commissioner.
What Sunday? Bastille Day. You're so sweet, but sometimes I have trouble understanding her.
Mother,
Oh,
please do me a favor. Call her Mildred.
oh. Doesn't she like her name?
Daddy, will you knock it off? I've got to get some sleep.
Well, it was just a suggestion.
Proposition.
So I'm excessively libidinous.
You're a dirty old man.
I certainly am.
Mother, Mac, what are you doing up?
Spencer Tracy and the father of the bride.
Good evening, sir. I mean, Mac. I mean, sir.
Mac, you're not serious. You mean you really waited up for me? That's terrific.
Actually, I want to talk to Randy.
Rent? Oh, sure. Little man-to-man chat. If the dower's over $100, take it.
Meg.
Come on, Mother, let's go to bed. Leave these two to their men.
Meg, your fiancé's a fraud. I'm sorry. Did a little checking of your background. There is no Randall Newmark III. Never was. Now, I don't know what kind of a phony line you're handing my sister or who you really are.
So that's it.
Megan.
Who do you think you are, Stuart McMillan? Snooping around behind Randy's back.
He's called the Heat, darling, or something like that.
Don't you think I know all about Randy?
You know?
Of course I do.
Meg, knock it off. It's all right. Mac was only doing his job. You're right. My name isn't Newmark. It's Murphy. Randall Francis Murphy. If you can believe that.
Murphy. Dear, that's Irish, isn't it?
I was born in Brooklyn, not Rochester. And I didn't go to Choate. I was raised by the Sisters of Charity until I got up enough nerve to run away, join the Navy. After 4 years of getting kicked in the butt, forgive me, by petty officers, I decided there was only one thing for me to do, and that was to get out, get an education. Learn some manners, get to work. Megan knows all this. The reason why I didn't tell Mrs. McMillan was, I guess I was ashamed of who I was, where I came from.
No one holds that against you.
They certainly don't. I say people are as people do. And you do just fine. Stuart, apologize.
No, Mrs. McMillan, please.
No, Mother's right. I just stuck my nose in where I shouldn't have. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Now that's settled. I'm going to bed.
Me too.
Stuart?
In a moment, Mother.
Now, don't be too late. Remember, you have to make an appointment tomorrow with Sergeant Enright's cousin.
Did I tell you about this wonderful cotton dress that I got for the plane?
No.
It's beautiful, and it's only $95 a steal.
$95? Who's doing the stealing?
One for the road.
Hey, you know, speaking of Sergeant Enright, I'm new here. I don't really know anybody, and I'm going to need a best man. You don't suppose that he'd consent to do it, do you?
It's possible. I'll talk to him. First thing in the morning. Brandy, okay?
Yeah, fine.
Welcome to the family.
Thank you.
No hard feelings?
In your shoes, I'd have done exactly the same thing.
Well, it's an occupational hazard. I've been hit with quite a bit the last couple of days. When you two get settled over in Hawaii, why, Sally and I will take a couple of weeks off and come on over. We'll get better acquainted.
Good, I'd like that. Listen, it really is late. I'd better be going.
You take care of that little girl. She's the only kid sister I have.
You have my word. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Good night.
Well. So?
The rats are sniffing at the cheddar. Nose is twitching. Beady little eyes glistening with greed.
You should have been a poet, Harry.
There's no money in that, my boy.
So what happened?
One of Mr. Kovacs' associates broke into my motel room at exactly 5:51 p.m.
The phony report. Did he find it?
He did. It was back in place, but the thread that I'd put on top of it was gone.
Terrific.
Now, we can expect to hear from Mr. Kovacs by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Count on it.
Harry, you're beautiful.
The only thing that worries me is taking those Tamco bonds instead of cash.
Look, there's nothing to worry about. You understand? I mean, Kovacs our pigeon, but he can't lay his hands on the cash. The bonds are negotiable. The way Tamco's going, we won't have any trouble unloading him.
Maybe so. We'll dump him and get out quick. How's the little lady? You still going through with the wedding Saturday?
Yeah, why not? I'm in love, aren't I?
Oh, sure you are. But what has one got to do with the other?
Nothing, Harry. Nothing.
Randall Francis Murphy, born in Brooklyn, New York, April 14th, 1945.
What about his fingerprints?
Well, they check out with the Navy Department and with the FBI.
Any criminal activity?
No, sir. Not even a traffic violation. And that should put your mind at ease, sir.
Well, every now and then it's good to be wrong.
I think he's a wonderful person.
Yes?
Lieutenant Callahan to see you, sir.
Good. Send him in. How would you like to be best man to that wonderful person tomorrow?
Me, sir? Well, I'm a little scared at weddings, but, okay, sure, as long as I'm not the person getting married.
Morning, Commissioner.
Morning.
Charlie? Hi. Got a lead on the death of that counterfeiter, Pablo Javier. Here, take a look. Building's owned by Trans-Alaska Mining Corporation, TAMCO. Maybe you've heard of it?
Aren't they the ones that reopen old abandoned gold mines?
Well, that's what they say, but there's something a little cockeyed about that whole operation. That's why the captain had a camera crew working the building the past couple of weeks.
Well, what's a character like Pablo
Javier
got to do with TAMCO?
That's what we'd like to know. It's pretty touchy business, Commissioner, because there's a lot of foreign money coming into this corporation.
Foreign money, like Japanese money?
Yes, sir. They're into just about everything. They've got a lot of money to invest these days.
And if it is a swindle, Commissioner...
There could be serious international repercussions, but with a known counterfeiter doing business with TAMCO, it's a definite possibility. Now, that Japanese national...
Mirabushi, sir?
Yeah, Mirabushi. I want to know more about him. The Japanese government put a lot of heat on when he died. I want to know why.
You think there's a connection between Mirabushi and TAMCO, sir?
There's a hell of a connection between Mirabushi and Javier. They were both killed by the same gun. Things are starting to shape up. Oh, I also want to see some footage on that surveillance film.
We can set that up, sir.
Meanwhile, I want to see that TAMCO file, what you've got on it and who's behind it.
Right away, sir.
Whoever killed Javier and Mirabushi must have had a good reason, but one thing's certain, they're not to be fooled with.
Nice of you to come back, Mr. Newmark. I'm sorry it was such short notice.
Oh, it's my pleasure, sir. I just appreciate the chance to get to talk to you again.
Well, I've discussed the entire matter with my associate, Mr. Hagstrom, and, well, I may have been a bit hasty.
I like your plan, Newmark. Logical, yet imaginative. Can't expect people to work 24 hours a day.
No,
The old country club may be just what we need, morale-wise.
Right. I think we may be able to work something out, providing the terms are mutually agreeable.
Well, now, Mr. Kovacs, I hate to pressure you. And I certainly wouldn't if I didn't have to. But I think I told you I have this note due the middle of next week, $500,000.
Oh, I didn't realize it was due that quickly.
Oh, yes, sir.
Who holds the note?
Cascade Mortgage Investment Company over on West Larrabee. They're awfully nice people, but business is business. And, well, gosh, if I don't make good on that note, I'm going to lose everything.
Well, Dan, I think we can talk to Mr. Ridgely first thing Monday.
Oh, sure. I suppose we could do that.
I'll be in touch.
Thank you. But,
no later than Monday. Now, you just sit tight.
Mr. Kovacs, you're a lifesaver. The terms, sir, that I mentioned to you, the $500,000 for 10% interest, that's okay, isn't it?
Perfect. Just leave Mr. Ridgely to us.
Well, thank you again. And it's nice to meet you, Mr. Hackster. Have a nice day.
Now, what was all that about? You had him and you let him go.
Trouble with you, Dan, is you don't think. Now, he's got a note that's due. He can't meet the deadline. We take over the note, he's out in the cold. We're sitting on a copper mine worth $10–15 million.
That's great. But where do we get the $500,000 to buy the note?
Right out of the vault.
The phony bonds?
They're as negotiable as cash.
Well, that's crazy. Mr. Ridgely says we don't dump that stuff until the end of the month.
The hell with Ridgely. Now, this whole thing's gonna blow up any minute. Who's gonna wind up with the dough? Not you and me, Danny boy.
I don't know, Al.
Who's been taking all the risks? Us. Killing Javier. And that Japanese detective that was snooping around last winter.
We weren't sure he was a detective.
Well, he was looking for something. Now, why do you think I have my boat ready? Because I like deep-sea fishing? Look, if we work this right, Mr. Ridgely will know nothing about those bonds being missing. Now, you call Cascade Mortgage Company, find out who runs the outfit, get them on the phone. We don't have any time.
I sure hope you know what you're doing, Al.
Okay, the guy getting out of the limo, that's Burton Ridgely, retired Army general. Connected in all the right places. It's all his game. He owns the majority of the stock. Number 2 man, Executive Vice President Alan Kovacs. Sort of a high-paid flunky. Mostly an inside man.
Do you have a sheet on him?
Oh, sir, they're all clean as far as we can tell. Mostly ex-Army people. Now, that's Daniel Hackstrom. Both he and Kovacs served in Ridgely's unit in Berlin a few years back. Now, this guy, Harry Anders, he's strictly small time, but he's something else. He could rob the fillings out of your teeth while you're chewing on a steak.
Well, what's he got to do with Tamco?
Beats me. He was only filmed twice. That's for sure he's not working with those guys.
Hold it.
What is it, sir?
Back it up. Freeze it. Right there. That man coming out of the building.
We don't have an ID on him, Commissioner.
Enright?
Well, sir, I hate to say it, but isn't that...
Randall Francis Murphy.
Friend of yours, Commissioner?
In a way.
Murphy, well, I can run a check on him.
We've already done that. Maybe not very well. Okay, it's 2 o'clock.
Do you have an appointment, sir?
We have an appointment at a church in exactly 24 hours.
You know, my horse was so slow, it wasn't a photo finish, but there was time for an oil painting. I think the race was crooked. Or what about the tree surgeon that fell out of his patient? Did you hear the one about the 3 fish? 2 herring, 1 smelt. I knew a guy that was so dumb, he thought Johnny Cash was the dime you put in a pay toilet. I just came back from the track. I followed a horse that loved to follow horses. The jockey used the whip so much he came across the finish line riding a meatloaf. My mother loved
Hi there.
Hi.
I'm Jenny, the cat lady. Will you do
When
me?
I was in school, I was the
Sure.
kid in the class. I was the only one who could afford a racing form. I won't say our school was tough. But when a kid raised his hand, you didn't
I'm
know
Mac
whether
the
he wanted to
Fuzz.
leave the room or something
Oh.
else back.
Are you here for a bus?
Married to a woman who was so fat.
Oh no, I'm here to see Luther.
Luther?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, he's out there putting them all to sleep.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you. It's nice to see you.
Oh, stick around. And it will be.
put a 200-pound jockey on the horse, put lead weights in his saddle, tied his tail to the starting gate, and that was the horse that won. You know, I can keep you rolling like this for years. I know you're out there. I can smell you breathing. Did you hear about the girl was told she was pregnant? She didn't think it was her.
Hail, old friend, well met. Welcome, Commissioner, to the sump hole of voyeurism.
You, been behaving yourself?
Commissioner, at my age, the closest I get to a liaison de coeur is writing MASH notes to Dear Abby.
I didn't mean that.
Oh, you mean, am I adhering to the tenets of virtue? You may rest assured.
Say, Luther. What do you know of a man named Harry Anderson?
Harry? Well, he's too small a fish for you to be involved with.
Well, I thought you and he might be up to something.
Harry and me? That's like serving a Chateaubriand on a paper plate. Well, anyway, Commissioner, he isn't very bright and he's awfully obvious. Besides, if I'm not mistaken, the authorities picked him up in the Virgin Islands several months ago.
Virgin Islands?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he was doing the old Mexican inheritance scam. You see, he pretends to be a lawyer, and then he sets up a rich mark.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't make any difference. He's probably out of circulation by now anyway. With his sheet, one more incarceration would have meant 10 to 20. Why?
He was seen a couple of days ago coming out of Trans-Alaska Mining Corporation.
Tamco?
Tamco.
It's much too sophisticated an operation for the likes of Harry.
You mean Tamco's crooked?
Now, did I say that?
In so many words?
Well, frankly, I don't know anything about the company, but when you're as old as I am, you learn to recognize a certain aroma. It's called the essence of fertilizer.
Meaning?
Well, an old maxim, but a serviceable one. When a thing seems too good to be true, it usually is. I'm reminded of the exploits of a crafty old gentleman named Charles Ponzi, State of Massachusetts, 1919. Look up the case, Commissioner. You might get an education.
I'll remember that. Tell me, do you recognize him?
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Sorry to bother you.
Oh, don't mention it. Particularly to any of my friends.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mr. Jennings will see you now, gentlemen. Right this way.
Well, come on in, gentlemen. Cecil Jennings.
Kovacs, Alan Kovacs.
It is a real pleasure, Mr. Kovacs.
My associate, Mr. Hagstrom.
How do you do, sir? Come on, gents. Sit down. Pull up a chair. Here we go now. Come on, get comfortable. Say, this is a real pleasure, I'll tell you that. And that company of yours, woohoo! Now, there is a success story. I don't get to meet folks like you every day. You boys care for a snort?
No, thanks.
Huh? Well, it's not 6 o'clock yet. And I promised the ball and chain that I'd hold down on the liquor until the sun went down. But I guess I could always draw the blinds. Draw the blinds.
Mr. Jennings, about that note you hold for Mr. Newmark.
Oh, yes, that note. Yeah, let me see. I got it right here. Just get a look-see here. Oh, yeah. Mighty valuable piece of property. Mighty valuable. You know, I got a good feel for real estate, if I do say so myself.
Mr. Jennings, let's cut the bull right now. I can see right through you. You're a phony. And a country boy act may work with some of the clucks that come in here to get their pockets picked. But you don't fool me for a second. Now, do you want to talk business? Or do you want to play games?
All right, Mr. Kovacs, let's talk business. You must want that land pretty bad or you wouldn't be here.
Well, I want it, but I can live without it. So don't push too hard. Now, I want that note. I'm willing to give you $500,000 plus, say, $25,000 for your trouble.
why don't we just say a flat $600,000 and let it go at that?
Agreed. I said that will be satisfactory.
Well, all right then. Have you got the bonds?
I'm sorry we couldn't get here earlier before the banks closed.
Oh, no problem. No problem, Mr. Kovacs. Tamco bearer bonds. They're as good as cash. Maybe better the way things have been going for you. I'll just stick them in the tin can over the weekend. They'll be just fine. Ruth, will you please draw up some transfer papers for our first trust deed on Newmark? That's file NEW 9765. Thank you. Well, this does call for a little drink. How about it? Huh? Hastert? I'm gonna have a snifter. You know, I want to tell you something. I wouldn't give you 2 cents for that whole state. Too damn cold. But you know, it's funny how things work out. I'm making me over $100,000 in just 3 months. Can you beat it?
You're a tough man to deal with.
Miss McMillan, this is you. This is you.
That looks a little on the lacy side.
Yes.
Mildred?
Lacy side.
What was
This
that?
now.
You know that ceramic
This
dish
now.
you warmed your
Little
eggs in
lacy.
yesterday?
Listen
Mildred,
through.
don't tell me it's broken.
And this
Okay, I'll
bottle
let
can
you be
come in
surprised.
our
Purple,
festival
maroon,
in gold is a
or
very
gold.
popular choice, Miss
Full
McMillan.
Oh, is it?
combining tulips,
Listen,
roses, and
may
marigolds
I send up
in
a
a
barrel of
symphony
chicken
of
and
leaves.
butter and I don't know.
Don't you
Where do I find your egg beater?
Did you try the drawer under the sink?
Yes, but all I could find was this.
Mrs. McMillan, if you just let me go in there for a minute.
Nonsense, dear. You and Sally deserve a few days' rest. Now, dinner tonight is my responsibility. I think that should be quite clear to everybody.
You can count on me.
Good. Now, where did you say I'd find your egg beater?
In your hand.
Chickens, that's the silliest looking thing I ever saw in my life.
Shut up, Miss Don't you? Or you get in trouble. Don't you? On the other hand, if you prefer something a bit more vivid, I can recommend our American the Beautiful.
Where's Randy?
I don't know. He's supposed to meet me a little bit later for dinner. Listen, Matt, could you pick out a flower for me?
Listen, could I speak to you for just a minute?
Dinner where?
Never mind where you're liable to have us tailed. That dress is frumpy.
Where's Mother?
We're decorating the kitchen in early American gravy. Could I speak to you for just...
And an open sleeve over here. Let me try this one.
Yeah, right.
Would you please?
Mother?
There you are, Stuart. Dinner at 8 sharp. If I can just figure out how to use this oven.
Mother,
You're
where
just
is
going
Randy?
to love this. Here, take a taste.
Mother.
Careful, it's hot. Well,
Well, it's different. What is it?
ragu catmandu, of course. Oh, really, Stuart? Your eating habits must be atrocious. Dinner like this is an experience.
Mother, I know you went to an awful lot of trouble, but I think I...
Have you any idea how difficult it is to find fresh goat meat at this time of year?
Mother, where's Randy?
I don't know. And I wouldn't tell you if I knew. You're being much too critical, Stuart. I want you to leave those young people alone.
I am only trying to keep your daughter from making a mistake.
Randy, what's his name, is a darling young boy. I know he fibbed to us, but he's so charming. How can you not love him?
Easily.
Stuart, don't you dare leave this kitchen.
Yes, Mother.
You're behaving like a perfect idiot, and I won't stand for it.
I am not.
You may be the commissioner of police, but to me, you're still a little boy in short pants, and right now you deserve to be treated like one. Megan loves that young man, and that's good enough for me. And if you do anything to spoil her happiness, I'll never speak to you again.
All right, Mother, you win. You win. If he's what Megan wants, he is what Megan's gonna get. For better or for worse, and I shan't say another word.
That's my little boy. And right now, while I have you in a charitable mood, there's one other thing.
What is it?
Do you know a nice, friendly judge in your traffic court?
Hey, I'm smart.
What?
I promise not to beat you. It's more than once a day.
You say that now.
Something is the matter. What is it?
No, not really.
Come on, would you like to talk about it? I don't want to have this conversation on our wedding night.
Well, I've just been thinking. I really don't know you that well.
Now, look, I confessed all my past sins to one and all last night.
Yeah, well, what do you do for a living? I mean, really do.
Investments, promotions. I told you. A little of this, a little of that.
Mr. Newman.
Yes.
I do hate to intrude. The desk clerk at your hotel told me I'd find you here. You will forgive me, dear lady. Arthur Porter, sir. Your name was given me by a mutual acquaintance regarding some corporate bonds.
Yes, of course. Porter, is it?
Yes, sir. If you could spare me a few minutes of your time later this evening, it's most urgent.
Yeah, certainly. How about my hotel room? 30 minutes.
Excellent. Please do finish your meal. I'm so sorry to have butted in.
Who was that man?
Who knows? But it could be important.
I've seen him before. Of course. The Virgin Islands, St. Thomas. When I first met you, I saw you talking to that man several times, but you never introduced us.
No, I think you must have him confused with somebody else.
No, it's the same man. Randy, what's going on? What are you hiding from me?
Meg.
Look, I don't care. I love you. But you're closing me out from part of your life, and you can't do that. I'm going to be your wife.
You're right. I haven't been fair. But I want you to promise me something.
Sure.
What I'm going to tell you, you're not to discuss with anyone, particularly Mac. You can walk away if you have to. I mean, I don't blame you, but you're right. But this is strictly between us. Do you understand?
Okay.
What are you guys doing here?
Phony. All phony. Gentlemen, we have been artfully had.
Are you sure, Harry? They looked okay to me.
22 years of fleecing sheep. Nothing like this ever happened before.
Well, nothing to do but pack it in.
Hang on, Jim. You know something? I think we're onto something here.
At this rate, we're onto the unemployment line.
I don't know. Look, what's Tamco doing with phony bonds? They're supposed to be legitimate,
Oh,
right?
easy, boy.
If these characters are unloading phony bonds, you can bet they're going to pay a lot of money in order to get them back. At least Burton Ridgely would.
Not me.
You're not suggesting we shake down a man like Burton Ridgely?
What do you want to do? You want to walk away empty-handed?
Empty-handed I'll be, empty-headed I'm not. You do what you like. But this stuff's out of my league. As far as I'm concerned, you're sticking your neck out and you're going to get it chopped up.
Come on, Harry, let's get out of here. Good luck, kid.
Yeah, operator. I'd like to Place a long-distance person-to-person call to Mr. Burton Ridgely. My name is Newmark. I'm in room 452. Montreal, Canada. No, I don't have a number, but he should be staying in one of the larger hotels.
No, operator, I don't know the number. Charleston, South Carolina. Yeah. Frank Teasdale. You're damn right it's an emergency call.
Cleaned out. Everything. The desks, the file, the safe. As if Cascade Mortgage Investment Company never existed.
That's what I'm afraid of. Hello? Hello? Yeah. No, just a minute, operator. I'll talk to Mrs. Teasdale. Yeah. Mrs. Teasdale, Alan Kovacs here. I'm trying to track down your husband. I met him recently in San Francisco. What? He is? I see. No, thanks. Sorry to have bothered you. The real Frank Teasdale's in South Africa. He's been there for the past 7 weeks.
And who?
That's what I'd like to know. Yeah.
Alan?
Oh, it's you, sir. I didn't expect you on this line.
Obviously. What's going on back there, Alan?
Going on how, sir?
I had a very strange phone call early this morning. A man wants to sell me some counterfeit Tamco security, $600,000 worth.
But that's impossible, sir.
I was afraid for a moment that you'd let some of our special offering out of your sight. That all has to hit the market quickly and quietly.
I understand, sir.
A thing like this, well, you can see the problem. Still in all, the man knows something.
Well, let me check right into it, sir.
No need, Alan. I'm meeting him at 9 tonight in San Francisco. I'll deal with the problem personally. It will be interesting to hear how he acquired the certificates. I'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir. Gotta find those guys, Dan. Teasdale, the guy from the mortgage company, and especially that kid. And we gotta get those bonds back. And I don't want any of the three of them to say anything, ever, about what happened last night. You know what I'm saying?
Sally, I can't get this tie right.
Put your chin up.
Maybe if I just wore a dark blue suit.
Oh, you mean like that nice one you always wear at a funeral or helicopter christening?
Yeah. Just the pants fit.
Well, suck it in. You'll get through it.
I am sucking it in.
Sally, will you go talk to Megan? She's impossible. She's a million miles away.
Coffee?
Well, how should I know? I'm just a mother. Do you think she tells me anything? Photographers. I don't even have my face on.
Mother! I better go. Mac, would you be a doll and get the...
Yeah, I'll get the note. Hey, Charlie. You look very sharp.
Thank you, sir. So do you, sir.
Thank you.
Commissioner, this is for you.
Why, Sarge.
Well, sir, I've always understood that the best man is supposed to look after that sort of thing. I have one more in here for Randy.
Fine. But aren't you a little bit early?
Yes, sir. But I just received a teletype about that Japanese national Mirabushi.
And?
Well, sir, we didn't get much out of the Japanese government. They identified him as a textile trader. So on a hunch, I sent a check through the Pentagon records, and it turns out that during World War II, Mirabushi was a counter-espionage agent for the Japanese. Had a law degree. Then he dropped out of sight in 1947, only to pop up here again, dead. Seemed rather strange, a man with his background.
Very strange, with all that flack we were getting. But now things are starting to get clearer. Hello? Yes, this is Commissioner. Where is the building? Right, I'll be there in 20 minutes.
What is it, sir?
Well, things are starting to pop. A building was broken into last night. A patrolman caught one in the leg. Ballistics matched it up. It came from the same gun that killed Mirabushi and Javier.
Stuart, we have a bride to give away today.
Well, not till 2 o'clock.
Well, you'd better be there. Both of you.
Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Oh, dear. Oh.
Sorry, sir, out of bounds. Oh, good morning, Commissioner. Carry on.
And the guy paid in cash.
$600 in advance.
Lieutenant?
Commissioner? No, it's a scam, all right. Classic bunco.
Question is, who took and who got taken?
Excuse me. Sir, have you ever seen either one of those two men before?
Never seen him before.
Are you sure?
Positive. The only guy I met was Jennings, Cecil Jennings.
We've got a description, Commissioner. The artist is on the way to work up a sketch.
Whoever killed Javier and Mirabushi broke in here last night. Javier probably worked for Tamco. Harry Anders and Randy were at Tamco offices. Enright, I want you to go to Randy's hotel room. Stick with him all the way to the church. Take my car.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Callahan, what do you know about a man named Charles Ponzi?
Ponzi? Oh, that was over 50 years ago, sir.
Yeah.
Well, supposedly he bought international postal reply coupons and traded them wherever the rate of exchange was favorable. Gold for stamps. Within 6 months, he had 20,000 investors who put up over $10 million. The fact was, he never traded a stamp in his life.
I don't get it.
Well, you see, sir, the initial investors were paid off by the money he got from later investors. Then they were paid off in the same way, like a big pyramid. The trick is to get out and disappear before the thing collapses. Ponzi's mistake was he just waited too long.
I want you to get in touch with the Virgin Islands. Find out about a man named Harry Anders. If he was arrested, why he was arrested, and in particular, when he was released.
Yes, sir. I'll get right on it.
Teasdale. Sorry, he checked out early this morning. And didn't leave any forwarding address.
You make any calls?
Sure, some. But I can't give out the numbers. On the other hand, seeing that you're a friend, he made 10 calls. I don't know any of these numbers except this one here. That's the number of the Empire Hotel over on Elkhart Street.
Look, it'll all be over soon.
What?
Well, you know, it's all your frame of mind. Once you resign yourself, it's really very easy. About 10 years ago, I was standing in a spot just like this. The seconds were ticking off one by one. And you know, she was a wonderful girl. But then my best man had to come to me and tell me that she'd been taken from me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sergeant. An accident?
No, an insurance man from El Centro.
She left you waiting at the altar.
That's right.
I
But the
see.
topper is this. 3 weeks later, her husband has the nerve to phone me and try and sell me a whole life insurance policy. Well, I told him he could take his whole life and, well, hello, sir.
Mac, it's after 2.
What do you know about Trans-Alaska Mining? You were at their offices yesterday and the day before.
You having me followed, or what?
We've got a surveillance team working the building. In a week or so, maybe less, we're going to blow that operation wide open. But now I want to know if you're involved or not.
I am not. I considered investing, decided against it.
Who's this man?
Never saw him before.
Really? His name is Harry Anders. He's a confidence man. Several months ago, he was working the Virgin Islands. You were there at the same time when you met Meg. 2 days ago, he was seen coming out of the Tamco building. 10 seconds later, you came out of the same door. Now, if that's a coincidence, I'm Daffy Duck.
Stuart, where on earth have you been?
Mother.
This is nothing short of disaster. It's 2:05. Reverend Coffee has disappeared. Megan's nearly in tears.
Mother, it's all right. Reverend Coffey has been delayed. His assistant, Reverend Vandenberg, will officiate.
Oh, thank heaven something's going right today. I won't relax until this thing is over. Come on, hurry up.
We'll continue this later.
This is impossible. We should have been married in City Hall.
Well, at least Randy's here. I mean, how would you feel without a groom?
Here he is, darling. Everything's going to be all right. Megan, wipe off your face or pull down your veil or something.
Mac, where were you?
Oh, just getting a lesson in high finance. You nervous?
Yeah, a little.
Second thoughts?
No,
What's the matter?
nothing. I'm just a little uptight, that's all.
It's not too late to back out. Look, sis, I'm only thinking of your welfare. If you want to back out, back out. Nobody will blame you.
Mac, I know you're worried about me, but I'm a big girl. I really know what I'm doing. I know it's not gonna all be lots of laughs and great fun. But I love him, and I'll take whatever comes, eyes wide open. Wish me luck.
Luck. Lots of it.
I may cry.
Me too.
It was him, the kid, Newmark. He was here, but he checked out.
Damn.
We're not through yet, Al. The kid is getting married this afternoon.
Where?
Well, the bell captain didn't know, but the reception is at the Carrollwood Hotel. There's something more. When he checked out, he had an extra piece of luggage, a green attaché case that he insisted on carrying himself.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here in the sight of God to join together in matrimony these two people, Randall and Megan, pledging each to the other love, honor, and respect. Whomsoever God may join in this holy estate, let no man put asunder. May God bless you, my children. May he shine down his countenance upon you. May his love reign in your hearts. May the sweet glow of his heavenly benediction light the path of darkness and lead you hand in hand to perfect happiness.
Like a Loretta.
May the rose petals of love and affection carpet the craggy road of life as together you make your way through the wind-tossed storms of temptation and lust. L'chaim.
Good afternoon, sir. May I help you?
Yes, my name is Newmark. My brother's getting married here this afternoon.
Oh, yes, the Newmark reception. That's at 4 o'clock in the Blue Room.
Thank you.
They should be here any time now. The happy couple's taking the bridal suite. Would you care to wait in the lobby?
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes. Cameron? Yes, Cameron. Just a moment, and I'll see you.
Sweetheart, why don't you let the bellman carry that one, too?
No, just like it.
Mac, I sure hope that Sally can make it to the reception.
Oh, she will. She just wanted to go home first and check the baby.
Well, I'm going to the Blue Room and check on the orchestra.
3 electric guitars and a bass fiddle do not make an orchestra.
Oh, dear. Hope they're not tacky.
Well, I think I'd like to go up to the room and freshen up a little.
That's a good idea. Yes, why don't we all go, then, at least until the other guests arrive?
Now that's tacky.
Well, it's 10 minutes to 4, and we have to be out of here by 6, and we wouldn't want the happy couple to be sidetracked by anything.
Mac?
We'll see you soon.
I'm gonna go to the blue room, make sure your mother doesn't get into any trouble.
Did you see that attaché case?
Yes, sir. Green leather, 14 inches by...
We have to find out what's in it, because if it's what I think it is, it all may piece together. The Javier murder and the Tamco swindle.
Well, we could also prove that your new brother-in-law is a crook, sir. No offense.
That's why you have to go up to the bridal suite and open up the bag.
Me, sir?
I don't want my mother or my sister to find out I had anything to do with it.
Well, that's very sensitive, sir.
No, gutless.
Here's your key, sir. Sir? Your key.
Thank you. Yes.
Is there anything else I can get you?
No.
Oh, thank you, sir. I hope you have an enjoyable stay.
Hello, Mrs. Murphy.
Hello yourselves.
Listen, we've got about 4 minutes. Would you
We've
like...
got a whole lifetime.
Might be shorter than you think. Hate to interrupt your honeymoon, Mr. Newmark, but I believe you have something that belongs to me.
Randy, who are these men?
Open it.
I don't have a key.
I said open it.
Mr. Thackeray, 2 men on the 10th floor. They attacked Miss Whirple and stole her passkey. Hold that elevator.
Been a busy boy the last couple of days, Newmark.
Randy, I don't understand. What does this mean?
Meg.
Means, my dear, that your husband's a thief.
Randy.
No, Meg.
No!
I'm gonna get that bag.
They'll shoot!
Hold it! Don't move!
Randy?
Back off! I said back off!
All right, Newmark, get that case. And be very careful. And bring it back in this room.
You hurt her, and I swear.
You just do what you're told and she won't get hurt. Easy, Commissioner. Right there. Let's go. Come on. Get your hands up. Get against the wall flat. Commissioner! There's a green sedan parked in front of the hotel. Fill it up with gas, bring it around to the back, leave the keys in it. And when I come back there, I don't want to see anybody or your sister gets it first. You hear me, Commissioner?
The car will be here in 10 minutes. I'll take care of it myself. What about your friend here?
It's all yours.
Come on. Come on. Up.
Can I take my hands down?
What'd I tell you?
Come on, point the thing at me. Leave her alone.
Cut the act, Newmark. She already thinks you're Prince Charming. You sure can pick him.
Officer, take care of this man. Enright, I want you to gas up that car and get it out back. Operator, this is an emergency. This is Commissioner McMillan. I would like to have 555-2212, please. Callahan, me. I'm at the Carrollwood Hotel. I want you over here on the double. I want a radio device and a triangulator. And there's something else I want you to bring with you. Less than a minute.
When did you start to smoke?
Just now. Mother.
They say there's a man up there with a gun holding them hostage.
They're going to be all right, I promise.
Well, you must do something.
I'm doing everything I can. Now, let's go back inside.
Oh, I won't move.
You'll move if I have to carry you.
Hey, Stuart, you sound just like your father.
You drive. Don't break any traffic laws. I'll be in the back with the missus. Doing just fine, Newmark. You're doing very, very good. You're smart. Not smart enough, but you're smart. And that dumb country boy act of yours down pretty good.
Callahan, you got a fix on their position yet?
We've got him, Commissioner. They're moving west on 135th Street. All units have been ordered to stay away from that car.
Good. Keep it that way.
Sir, what'll we do if they decide to leave the car?
I don't know. I really don't know.
For better, for worse, huh? It's really a laugh. Police commissioner's sister, marrying this cheap hustler. You should have told her. And there's a lot of things you should have told her. Right, Newmark? We'll ditch the car now, in case they put a bug in it. Pull over.
There it is, sir. We're gonna lose them.
Now get us a cab. Take the bag with you. Remember, it's better to be a live Don Juan than a dead John Wayne.
They've stopped, Commissioner. Somewhere near Fremont and 126th Street. Should I move in on him before we lose him?
No, we can't take that chance.
But, sir...
But keep your equipment going.
Yes, sir, but how are we...
Shh.
Hey, taxi! What's the matter, bud? You late for your wedding? Oh, hi, miss. I mean, Mrs.
Slide in, you. In front, Newmark.
Where to, buddy?
South Bay Marina, main pier.
Let's go, Sergeant. We're closer than they are.
Yes, sir, but how are we...
Just keep driving.
Find it.
Well,
Randall's here, sir. Oh, thank you. That'll be all, Charlie.
I beg your pardon, sir?
Beat it.
Yes, sir.
Well, it looks as if you got caught red-handed, Mr. Newmark or Murphy or whatever your name is.
Murphy. That much was true.
Things haven't changed much, have they?
Beg your pardon?
I said Central Security hasn't changed its training procedures much in the last 20 years, have they?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course you don't. And I suppose when you saw that cigarette burning in the ashtray, it was just luck that you knew there was an electronic bug planted in the cigarette lighter.
You put that there?
That's one of the first things they teach you. I'm cleared top secret.
I should have known.
Why Central Security?
It was a Japanese agent from Interpol who was after Ridgely.
Mirabushi?
Yeah. Somehow his cover was blown and I got the assignment with nothing to go on. So the plan was to flush him out, you know, catch a thief with a thief.
I should have been notified.
Well, it just wasn't possible. Only the director and the secretary knew what I was up to, and a man like Burton Ridgely's got more ears in Washington than a Kansas cornfield.
And Harry Anders, I assume you arranged his release?
Yeah, he, and Trumbull. He got picked up in the Virgin Islands. How'd you know it was me?
A guy with his record doesn't get off that easy without somebody pulling strings. When I got down to the nitties, I had to hope that someone was you.
Anyway, it wasn't hard to hook up with them. They're a couple of nice, pleasant guys, you know, not very bright. And I was just kind of winging it until they told me that the same guy that killed Mirabushi also killed a counterfeiter. At which point I figured Tamco was probably planning on dropping some phony stocks of bonds on the market, which is why it was absolutely essential to get the bonds instead of cash.
Why didn't you bust him right then?
Well, because we'd lose the connection to Ridgely. Very important to connect Ridgely directly with the forged bonds. And, look, I'm scheduled to meet him a little bit later this evening. If you can arrange to get me out of here.
Oh, I think so. And the San Francisco police will even have a couple of plainclothesmen around to help keep your neck intact. Does Megan know?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't about to let her go through the rest of her life thinking that she married a thief.
It's a rough life.
Mm-hmm. But after all, you forget one thing. She's a McMillan.
Oh, yeah, about that. I think there's something you ought to know about the wedding.
Stuart!
Sally, I thought you were home with a baby.
I got a babysitter.
What for? Where's Mildred?
Stuart, I may faint.
Oh, Mother.
It's dreadful, just dreadful, my poor little girl.
Mrs. McMillan, what?
That awful man, that Reverend Vandenberg. He was an imposter. My poor little Megan has been living in sin.
Mother, I hardly think 4 hours.
5. You certainly don't think, Stuart. But I do. And I think I'm not going to move 1 inch until my daughter is properly married in San Francisco tonight. Now. Otis?
Yes, my dear. Oh, the bridegroom. Well, I suppose if he's here willingly, eh? Oh, no. That is a bit premature.
Well, Stuart.
Well. One more time.
Well?
Oh, yes. Dearly beloved, we are gathered together here in the sight of God to join together in matrimony these two people, Randall and Megan.